areas where God helps you and expects you to develop capacity. Number one is in the area of loving God and loving people. If you are looking for increase, turn your eyes away from increase. If you are looking for enlargement, turn your eyes away from enlargement and start learning to love God and love people. Enlargement and increase is a byproduct of genuine love. If you like, sing it, cry it, shout it. If your heart is narrow and you don't allow God to help you grow in love, you will never see it. Not in authority, not in resources. You will never see it. Look at what the Bible said. First, loving God. Jesus said in Matthew 22 verse 37 to 38, he said, you shall love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy mind. Now, he was quoting what God told Moses to tell the children of Israel in Deuteronomy 6 verse 5. So the pattern has always been constant. You must love the Lord. I'm showing you areas where if capacity is not developed, increase can be in view. We have people who don't love God, but they hope to become big by God. It doesn't work like that. Now, when you love God, then increase is entrusted. John 21 verse 15 to 17. God wanted to increase someone. Look at the criteria he was looking for. He said, when they had dined, Jesus said unto Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than? There was a disciple that Jesus loves, but Jesus love you is not the major reason for increase. It can facilitate it. The question is, do you love him? Lovest thou me? Peter said, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. What was the next answer? Keep my lamb. So the guy who loves me is the one I commit authority, is the one I commit resources, is the one I commit dominion. He went further and asked again. He said again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? He said unto him, yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He said, feed my sheep. Levels has changed. Action has not begun from lamb to sheep. Now you know that lambs are young sheep. Those ones don't have direction. Usually when sheep are moving, the shepherd is in front, the sheep follow, then the lambs follow. The sheep know the voice of the shepherd, but the lamb follows the bleating of the sheep. So first level was lamb, second level was sheep. So a man suddenly is dealing with children, then presidents, governors, senators, leaders, captains of industry, and you are like, what is this guy saying that all these people are following him? It's not what he's saying. You have all the revelation, but where is your heart? That's why you are shocked sometimes. You see somebody commanding influence and you are like, Beck, I know more than this guy. Even what he's teaching, there's error. Yes, but his heart has covered that error. God who endorsed the error, he will teach him over time, but his heart is the basis. God asked the third time. He said unto him the third time, Simon, son of Jonah, lovest thou me? Peter was grieved that he said unto him the third time, and he said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things. Thou knowest that I love thee. And Jesus said, feed. Not just keep, not just lead, feed. Feed my sheep. You are looking for enlargement, but your heart is away from God. Capacity is critical. So one major area of capacity development is loving God. So if you want increase, you must train yourself to love God. Teach yourself the love of God. And not only God, you must also love men. Now, how do you differentiate it? The love of God is obedience, but love for men is virtue. When you love God, you don't only have affection towards him, you obey him, you serve him. When you love men, you show virtue towards them. John 14:15, it says, if you love me, you will keep my commandments. That's how God quantifies love. It's not just affection. Everything his word says becomes a law to you. But when you love men, God expects virtue. You show virtue towards them. It says, a new commandment I give you. John 13:34 to 35. It says that you love one another as I have loved you. It said the moment you love one another, it said things will start happening in your life. The world will know that you are my disciple. Authority, resources, strange things will start happening. So a man who loves others will be enlarged. That's why Paul was speaking in 1 Corinthians 13. You read from verse 1 to 4. Paul said, if I don't have love, though I speak with tongues of men and of angels, if I have not charity, he said, I'm a sounding brass and a tinkling cymbal. He said, though I have the gift of prophecy, understand all mysteries, have all knowledge, and I have all faith, I can remove mountain on account of my faith. If I have not love, I'm nothing. So you are not enlarged if you don't have love. Though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, though I give my body to be born, if I have not love, it profits me nothing. So there's no genuine enlargement where there's no love. Now, what is love for men? Galatians 5:22 to 23. The Bible calls it the fruit of the spirit. It said, but the fruit of the spirit, it didn't say the fruits. The fruit is one fruit manifesting in 8 tributaries. The fruit of the spirit is love. Now, what is love? Joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith. Next verse, meekness, temperance. Against this there's no law. So when you love people, you are meek. towards. You are patient with them. You are faithful in your dealing with them. You don't betray. You don't disappoint. And when you go to 1 Corinthians 13 from verse 5 to 13, these same qualities and much more are enumerated. That's why I say when you love men, it shows in virtue. Temperance, long suffering. You know the problem with us? We don't love ourselves. That's what is even affecting. Now you see people come, they say they are pastors, they have burden for Jesus, and the whole goal is to slander other people. I don't endorse error. By God's grace, never will I preach Jesus, I preach the life of God, I preach faith, I preach holy living, but I don't tear men down. Because the truth is, if it's my sister or my brother, I won't come to the altar and start shouting that. How many of these people have you seen talk about the error of their family? If your sister does it, they will say, oh God, repent, let's pray, let God have mercy, don't do again. You teach them. But when it's another person, a new revival have been hypocrisy. We will never endorse error, but we will never kill a fallen soul. We pray for God to help, and because we have done it in the public, we can tell people to take caution, but we will never tear you down. Our goal is not to see this. You want enlargement? Capacity development will begin from love. Number 2 area of capacity development is sacrifice and sacrificial living. If you don't develop capacity, all this mentality of receive, and you think you are going forward, you will be shocked. Everything you receive, you eat. There is no investment in receiving. Investment is in giving and scattering. Paul said in Romans 12 verse 1, after he preached everything about salvation to the Jews and everything about salvation to the Gentiles, because from Romans 1 to 8, Paul was telling the Gentiles the basis for their salvation, and from Romans 9 to 11, Paul was telling the Jews the basis for their salvation. When he finished showing them all that God has done for both and how that both have a place in God, he now said, finally my brethren, whether you are Jew or Gentile, I beseech you, he said, that you present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God. So you must live sacrificially. When I read about the patriarchs, sometimes I'm so humbled as to the depths God brought them into. I wonder how they knew what they knew. Men who the Holy Ghost was not living inside of, they would do some things you wonder. There was a plague in Israel, and David commanded of God to go offer sacrifice in the high place, and he went and got the field of Araunah and to offer the sacrifice, and the man said, I'll give you for free as a blessing. And David said, God forbid that I offer unto God that which cost me nothing. God forbid. Me, my God, I say I'm giving him something, it cost me. Who taught you this thing? How did you know it? 2 Samuel 24:24. How did he know it? Those who live sacrificially, they become great. Look at Abraham. He trusted God for a child for more than 25 years, at least from when God appeared to him. When that child came, God said, go and sacrifice it. Abraham knew Sarah couldn't take it. He rushed out in the morning. Genesis 22 verse 1 to 5. And when Abraham was going to sacrifice Isaac, he called Isaac worship. Genesis 22 verse 5. I'm going up with a young lad to worship. And then you are here, you are saying, Abraham's blessings are mine. Do you know Abraham's ways? Some can't sacrifice time, some can't sacrifice energy, some can't sacrifice resources. Nothing is on the altar. Nothing. And they are hoping to be great. Where is the space? You're already saturated. Can I teach you? Make sure you live sacrificial. Let your time be on your altar. Let your money be on your altar. Let your energy be on your altar. Let your expertise be on your altar. You are buying your future. Number 3, capacity in the area of management and stewardship. Some people, it's not like they are not blessed. They are actually the most blessed, but they are wasteful. They lack management. They lack stewardship. The Bible said in Luke 16 verse 10 and 12 that a man must be faithful in little for much to be given to him. And he said in verse 12, a man must be faithful in another man's business for his own to be given. That means management and stewardship is a critical mass so long as weights of increase and enlargement is concerned. You must learn to manage effectively and productively everything God entrusts to your care. Paul said it is expected of a steward that a man, 1 Corinthians 4 verse 2, that a man be found faithful. It is required of a steward that a man be found faithful. If you want enlargement, you must become a good manager, a skillful manager. And to give perspective, there are 7 things you must manage well. Number 1, the grace of God on your life. 1 Peter 4:10. Every man hath received the gift, even so minister the same one to another as good stewards of the manifold grace of God. You have a gift to sing, a gift to preach. Any gift God gives you, make sure you refine it and become better at it. Don't be blunt for 10 years. You will spiral into oblivion. Number 2, you must be a steward of time. The Bible said in Ephesians 5:15 and 16, it says walk circumspectly circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time. So anybody who is not managing time is a fool. There are few definitions of a fool in the Bible. The Bible said a fool says in his heart there's no God. So every atheist is a fool by the authority of scripture. And the Bible is also telling us here, anybody who is not managing time is a fool. Walk circumspectly, not as fools but as wise, redeeming the time. You can't be waking up around 10 and you are talking enlargement. Meanwhile, you slept by 10. So you have wasted 12 hours sleeping. You are a dead man walking. That's why some people tell you, I'm 40 years old. They are thinking like 12 because they have wasted 75% of their time. They use 12 hours sleeping, 6 hours watching movies, 18 hours are gone. Poor time management. Don't waste your time. Number 3, stewardship. You must be a good steward of relationships. The Bible said, as we have therefore opportunity, let us do good to all men, especially those in the household of faith. Galatians 6:10. See, don't waste relationships. They are opportunities. Some men are portals, some men are seasons, some men are gates. You are the one who think all of us are human beings. There are men you meet, they will open the radar of favor to your life. There are men you will meet, they will open the gates of wealth to you. There are men you will meet, one conversation will be 10 years. Some of you spend your whole day with people who are not going anywhere, and you ignore people who should take you to your destiny. And some of you, the people who should take you to your destiny, your pride, your arrogance, your insincerity made you lose them. Now you are stranded. You thought you would be angry and say, but who are you? Now you have said, who are you? For 6 months, you don't know where you are going. Even Jesus, the Son of God, who was God in human form, needed men. I know it's only God that makes men. I teach it, I believe it, but there are many channels he uses. One of it is men. So manage relationship with honor. These are the currencies for managing relationship. Honor, love, sincerity, value. Don't be in a relationship as a parasite. Bring value, show honor, love, be sincere, have integrity. That's how you manage relationship. Bring value. You must be a steward. You must be a manager of relationship. Number 4, you must be a steward of resources. You misbehave with money and watch how money will deal with you. Why do you think you meet a rich man, you think they which have should give carelessly? But when you come, they say, what do you need it? We don't give people money. We give money to visions. They say, what do you want to do? If you are not serious, they say, go and learn a trade. You don't know what to do with money. You must be a steward of money. Steward. Paul said, everybody who is given authority must be a good steward. 1 Corinthians 4:2. Money is inclusive. Number 5, you must be a good steward of energy. You see this energy, if you waste it, you will hate yourself. He said, remember now your creator in the days of your youth. A time will come when you won't have strength to do what you want to do. Paul said in 1 Corinthians 6:20, he said, you were bought with a price. Your body is not your own. He said, glorify God in your body. Don't waste your energy. Don't waste your strength. The foolish man wastes his strength on wine and women. He said, I looked through my window. I saw a young man void of understanding. He was on the way to the house of the harlot. He said his path is destruction. Use this your youthful energy. Use it well. Don't allow distraction steal it. Don't allow wine steal it. Don't allow the opposite sex steal it. Deploy it well. Deploy your energy. Sit down, study, make relationship, good relationships. Look for a trade, learn a skill. This is the time and make impact. Don't wake up in the morning and waste energy. You sat in front of a screen, watch movies for 12 hours. At this age, when you see men in their 70s and 80s still looking for what to do, you are young, you are wasting it. Don't waste energy. You must be a steward of energy. Every day you wake up, tell yourself, my strength will buy something for me today. It will either buy knowledge, or it will buy time, or it will buy good relationship, or it will buy value and impact. Manage your energy. Number 6, steward positions. Manage positions. The position you occupy today, you may not occupy tomorrow. So while you are in that position, make the most of it. Joseph was a prime minister. He saved Israel. Esther was a queen. She saved Israel. She didn't live with a title. She left with a testimony. Every position God gives you today, manage it well. Make sure a legacy is born from that position. Be a steward of positions. Be a steward. So capacity in the area of what? Stewardship and management. Number 4 is capacity for prayer. The apostle said in Acts 6:4, it's not meet for us to give ourselves to tables. We will give ourselves to prayer and to the ministry of the word. No wonder they became big. Fishermen shook the world. There is something about prayer. When you pray, you develop stamina to weather storms. In Luke 18:1, it says men ought always to pray and not to faint. So whatever opposition comes against you, you will withstand. Number 2, when you pray, you will gain access to wisdom that is uncommon. Jeremiah 33 verse 3, ask of me, I will answer, and I will show you great and mighty things that you know not. Number 3, when you pray, you step into an advantage that others can't enter. Isaiah 40:31, they that wait upon the Lord, they renew their strength. They mount up with wings like eagles. He said when they walk, they don't faint. When they run, they are not weary. If you want to really be enlarged, give yourself to prayer. There is an advantage that ordinary men can't find. There are secrets that are not available to the common eyes, and there is a strength you need in battle. You don't buy them, you engage them on the altar. You need capacity. Number 5, capacity enlargement. Build capacity for the word. It says study, 2 Timothy 2:15, to show thyself approved. There's a level of qualification that you can't have until you build acute intelligence. Study to show yourself approved unto God, a workman that need not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. So a man who does not study will end in shame, but a man who studies is approved. Approved for honor, approved for glory, approved for authority, approved for increase. This is that year where you have to read books and read as many as you can, and if you are not reading, listen. You say until I come. 1 Timothy 4:13, give attendance to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine. Verse 15, give thyself wholly to these things. He said thy profiting shall be made manifest to all. When you study, when you give yourself to the word, you will be big, you will enlarge. Joshua 1:8, this book of the law should not depart from thy mouth. Meditate upon it day and night. See that you do that which is written therein. Then you shall make your way prosperous, and you shall have good success. Number 6, area of capacity development is to endure trials and persecution. If you will be enlarged, prepare for storms. Prepare for storms. The Bible said when you walk through the waters, you will not be drowned. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. No matter how efficacious prophecies are, they won't exonerate you from every fire and every water. There are some you will go through. The Bible spoke about an evil day. Everybody has an evil day, but for those who develop capacity, evil days become day of testimonies, because every day you testified, something negative should have happened. The reason it became a testimony is because you overcame. And overcoming is not luck and chance. There are biblical precedences. Pray so that you fall not into temptation. That's building capacity for storms. So there are precedences. You must build capacity for storm. It will be foolishness to just be going up and not build strength. One wind will hit you, you will crumble. You are building capacity for trials. Have revelations, not emotion. I know people, everything they do is emotionally driven. No, have light. Don't just because you sense something, you are laying hands on people. What do you know about laying on of hands? Oh, because you sense something, you are prophesying. What do you know about prophecy? Because when problem come, you know what they will check? What you know that inform the action. That's why you see many emotional people are cut off. They said when you build upon the word, which is the rock, the wind will hit it boisterous, it will stand. Prepare for storms. You do that in prayer. You do that in the place of revelation. Prepare. You do that in the place of covenant association. There are people that when you are hit, you can rely on. Iron sharpeneth iron. As a man, the countenance of his friend. The storms will come, but when they come, stand. Don't be overly optimistic. Search for truth. Build on reality. Prepare for storm in prayer, in the word, and in sincerity. Anything you are doing, let there be truth and integrity. If you have skeletons in your cupboard, they will show up the day you reach the top. Satan does not expose his arsenals carelessly. He said it is when he is lifted that he falls into the condemnation of the devil. Satan will wait for the most strategic season where if he strike you, you will never recover. That's why you build with truth. Don't cut corners. Have integrity. It's better to be slow than to rush in error. I've taught you, if you are in the wrong direction, speed is not an advantage. Prepare for the storm in prayer, in the word, in integrity and truth. There are 3 more. Develop capacity in the mind, mental capacity or vision. He said, I will stand upon my watch and I will see. Habakkuk 2 from verse 1. Stand on your watch in prayer, in study, in receiving inspiration from mentors. Enlarge your mind. Number 2, capacity for holy living. Don't let the corruption of this world drown you. The Bible said that great woman Jezebel, he said she sat upon many waters and said those waters are the nations and the kings of the earth. When you see idolatry, immorality, lying, those are rivers of seduction. Demonic princes sit on them. Don't let it drown you. You have fallen before. Rise up. The Bible says righteous man may fall 7 times. We don't speak like this because we are perfect. We are being helped, but we say it because it's true. Because the word is a double-edged sword. Don't let yourself be drowned. Like Job, close your eyes. Like Paul, yield to the Spirit. Let the law of the Spirit of life quicken you. Don't be drowned. There are many waters trying to drown men. Live above it. Rise above the tide. And then finally, capacity for humility, brokenness, and self-denial. In James 4:6, it says, God resists the proud. He giveth more grace to the humble. 1 Peter 5:6, humble yourself under the mighty hand of God. In due season, he said he will increase you. Humble yourself. Jesus said when you go to an occasion, don't rush to the high table. If a more important person come, they will take you out. But when you humble yourself, he said you shall be exalted. He said but when you exalt yourself, you shall be abased.